Coach, obviously coming off a Wake Forest loss on Saturday, you head up to DeKalb, Illinois, a little northern showdown for Vanderbilt, Northern Illinois, at Husky Stadium, 2:30 in the afternoon, kickoff on the CBS Sports Network. When you throw in the Wake Forest film from Saturday, Coach, what jumped out to you the most on Saturday?
Well, obviously the turnovers, and just we're not at a point as a program yet where we can have those self-inflicted wounds. And look, there are things that come up in performance that you don't control, and those things we just need to have a response to in the moment. But we certainly control decisions we make, and we control the way we secure the ball and how we protect the ball. And I thought we fell short in those areas, and we paid for it. Wake Forest is a good team. It's a good offense. We don't need to give them more possessions. We don't need to give them points. And doing that really hurt our chances to stay in the game and win. I was pleased with the competitive spirit coming out. I was pleased with the sustained effort through the game. I just was frustrated by our inability to play complementary football there and to protect the ball.
Coach, you mentioned competitive spirit. There are a couple plays that I look at that stand out to me. The goal line stand. I mean, it was 3-4 plays of back-to-back stops within the 5-yard line, and then the hit on Mike right out of bounds. Of course, looked like the entire sideline was up, and of course, want to try to walk that line of playing with competitive spirit, but also, sticking up for your teammates. So, what did you tell your guys about that moment? But also, just it did look like that competitive spirit was there.
Yeah, we want to go to the edge, but not over. And what we talked about in the moment of the hit, and then on Monday when we had our team meeting after the game, my responsibility and my job is to fight for the team on the sideline. My job is to communicate with officials. My job is to manage that part of the game. The players have way more significant parts of the performance that happen in between the lines, and so we need to, as a team, keep our focus on those areas and let me do the job of managing the officials and of working through communication lines that way. And not that those moments aren't going to spark some fire and elicit a response. I just want to see that response happen, between the lines, between the whistles.
Coach, how would you evaluate the quarterback position right now for your team heading up to Illinois, especially with a game that you're going to need some plays made, especially on offense?
Yeah, we need to find some consistency there. I mean, there have been flashes of brilliance, and some really some big plays, some really strong execution. We've moved the ball, we've scored points in the red zone. I mean, there's a lot of positives there, but we haven't been consistent, and that is evident in the last 6 quarters. Really, it's our inability to convert on third down. Obviously, in the Wake Forest game, to protect the ball and to extend drives. And we're not yet to the point as a program where we can put that much exposure on the defense. We're not at a point as a program where we can put that much exposure on the defense and expect to be able to play at a level that's going to allow us to see results. So again, for us, the consistency piece, and I guess the third part of that would just be the ability to get the ball on the perimeter some. We got to get our receivers going, obviously on third down, but even first, second down, to get them involved in the playmaking early, so they're in the flow of the game, and we have a chance to loosen the box a little bit and let that run game really get going.
Coach, margin for error is a big term in at football at every level. And you've talked about it before with your team, that when your margin for error is slim, you have to take advantage of opportunities when they come to you. So how would you describe your margin for error this year with this year's team, and what that means down the stretch of the season?
This is something we've talked a lot about as a staff. We've talked about it as a team, and we talked about it coming out of Saturday's game, is that the margin for error for us is razor thin, and we have everything we need in this team to win each game we play. But we need every part of this team to show up every Saturday. And when we have 8 of 11 or 9 of 11 or even 10 of 11 on the field, playing with mental intensity and playing with belief, that's not good enough for Vanderbilt football right now. It takes 11 of 11 each play, and so we're going to look back on the season when it's completed, and the ultimate reflection could be on a great season where things locked into place and we were able to optimize those margins, or it could be disappointment because we weren't able to click into place and get, and really change the energy within the game. If we were disappointed in the turnovers on Saturday, that's one thing, but also we want to be a team where when we have one bad play doesn't result in 2, 3 in a sequence of bad events. And that's a matter of each phase of our game being able to step on the field and offer a response to whatever the energy on the field is in the moment. Can we impact or exact change and grab the momentum back for our side so that we're, again, impacting winning at every turn.
Coach, Northern Illinois, next opponent, of course, MAC champions last year. Obviously, you've said you've got a lot of respect for that program. Of course, what is it going to take, to go up there and defeat a team like Northern Illinois?
Well, the first thing we have to do is we have to turn the page from last week and take the learning forward, and that's what we're focused on right now. It's going to take a great week of preparation, and so we have to, if we expect to play a certain way on Saturday, that needs to show up throughout the week in our practice. And so once we get those two things, and that's really about self-mastery, then you turn to the opponent and say, this is a team that's built around a physical run game. They got a good quarterback, good scheme. The defense is, they're +3 right now in their turnover margin in the first 2 games. They can make plays on both sides of the ball and really in all 3 phases. And so you start to think about how this game plays out, and you recognize that it's going to be a gritty game that's going to take all 4 quarters of effort and energy, and to go win on the road in an environment that's going to be challenging against a team that has pride and is going to play spirited. And so we have to be mature. We have to handle the trip, handle the week of prep, and show up on Saturday and play each snap with that mental intensity and belief that'll give us the opportunity to unlock the result we want.
That's Vanderbilt head coach Clark Lee. Coming up on Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff. It's Vanderbilt in Northern Illinois on CBS Sports Network. Coach, thanks for taking the time.
Great to be with you.